Hey, it's Ed with a quick update from Leadership Explored. We're taking a short break from our regular releases just for a little while. The decision to take this break is us practicing what we preach. Good leadership means being realistic about what's possible and creating space when the system and the people in it need it. Andy and I have both been traveling for work with more travel ahead. That's put us behind on planning and made recording unpredictable. Personally, I recently had a travel day turn into a 48-hour journey home that ate into my schedule and my weekend, and really set me back. Add normal life, planned time off, a move, new roles, new clients, and the holidays coming up, and we felt like we had to make a choice. Stress out to keep forcing episodes between flights, or step back and give ourselves some breathing room. We chose the breathing room. Time off doesn't magically make everything better, but we don't want to operate from a constant time crunch. We believe slack time is really important. It gives us time to think, develop our thinking and mindset, improve our processes, and be more creative and engaged. This break doesn't mean you won't hear from us. Over the next few months, we'll drop some short pieces here in the feed. A Season 1 highlights episode where we will sum up some of the key ideas from our episodes, a year-to-date reflection on leadership lessons and mindset shifts we've had from doing the show and from our jobs and lives, and a brief retrospective on our first season. What worked, what wasn't so great, and what we'd like to change going forward. We'd love to hear from you. What challenges are you facing? What topics would you like us to explore more deeply? What could we cover that would help you be a better leader? You can always email us at leadershipexplored@gmail.com. When we started this podcast, we kicked around the idea of doing the show in seasons, but we weren't sure if we wanted to take that approach or not. We genuinely hoped to ship every other week all year long. As the year evolved and life piled up, a seasonal approach started to seem like it made more sense. It gives us flexibility and creates space for us to be more creative and keep an eye on quality. So after our last episode, we decided that what we've released so far is Season 1. And what comes next will be Season 2. We're planning to come back in early 2026 with a mix of topics we've been kicking around for a while. We'll probably start with watermelon projects, those efforts that look green on the outside but are actually red inside, and talk about why that happens and why it surprises people so late. Connected to that idea is an idea I've been wanting to unpack for a long time. Projects always start red. Day one is all uncertainty. So we want to unpack what that means to let a project earn its way to yellow and then to green instead of pretending it's green from the jump. We'll also dig into reporting versus owning, what we sometimes call weather reports versus action plans, because there's a real difference between describing what's happening and being accountable for what happens next. Another thread is communication. One episode will tackle leadership communication overconfidence, those moments when leaders talk past their actual understanding and it shows. And in a separate conversation, we'll focus on communication that lands, meaning how you connect with real people so what you meant is what they actually hear. We're also going to explore mental fitness for leaders, the inner game that keeps your head clear when the stakes are high, and may connect it to positive psychology and positive intelligence. We're planning to explore some tougher topics too. Are ethical layoffs even possible? Or at the very least, how can leaders make layoffs suck less? We've been thinking about leadership privilege and responsibility to society, what it means to carry power with some obligation attached. We want to talk about complaining versus solutions, and the idea that gripes should only go up, and explore why honest complaints have value when they move in the right direction. And Andy and I have talked a lot behind the scenes about leadership stoicism and the problem with modern broicism. So we want to explore the kind of steadiness that isn't performative toughness, but real composure and agency. Some other ideas that keep coming up for us include reading is leading or leadership literacy. When we say that, we don't just mean apply what you read to how you lead. We think you can't be a serious leader if you're not literate and continuously taking in new ideas. If you're not feeding your mind, you're not evolving. And if you're not evolving, you're not leading. Related to this is the idea that leadership is teaching. If reading is how we grow ourselves, teaching is how we grow everyone around us. Whether we admit it or not, every one-on-one, every stand-up, every email, and every interaction is a little classroom. So we'll talk about what it means to show up as a teacher on purpose. Realizing that forces us to face the lie that soft skills are soft. Soft skills are actually hard, and they're the part that moves the work. We want to explore why they're harder to learn than so-called hard skills and what real practice looks like so that teams and leaders can get better at doing the hard work of soft skills. All of this will connect to the myth of the natural leader. We believe leaders aren't born, they're built, through literacy, teaching, and deliberate practice. None of these topics are locked in stone. We might combine a couple, add one, or change the order, but that's the flavor we're thinking of for Season 2, and why we're excited to take a little time now to be refreshed to do it well. We may also try some new things in Season 2, maybe shorter episodes, maybe a little less preparation and more open discussion, maybe more frequent episodes if we can do it in a sustainable way, and we've been considering interviews with leaders and practitioners we respect. Now, I want to take a moment to talk to you like I would a client or client team. Take a breath and pause, and think about all the projects you're working on, the things in your backlog, and where you're spending your time, and what's making you stressed. Are you doing what you're doing because it's still the best choice and the best way, or because it's the way you've been doing it? There's danger in leadership in becoming highly efficient at a pattern that no longer serves you, doing lots of things that are no longer moving you towards your objectives. So here's something simple you can try this week. Pick 3 commitments that take real time. Maybe it's a project, a recurring meeting, or something you're doing on the side. For each, ask, what is this for right now? If the answer is fuzzy, consider pausing it or redesigning it. Then ask yourself, what would excellent look like here next month? Be specific and concrete. Finally, follow that up with asking, what kind of rest or space would I need to deliver that? Most teams don't lack commitment, they lack capacity. Rest and reflection aren't indulgences. They are an absolute requirement to be able to perform at all, let alone your best. If you try this, tell us what you discover. Sometimes pressing pause is the fastest way to move forward. If you're new here, welcome. Leadership Explored is about practical, evidence-minded leadership in modern workplaces, ethics, culture, communication, and the messy realities in between. I'm Ed Schaefer, an executive leadership and development coach who has led delivery and consulting work across industries. My co-host, Andy Sigmund, brings a complementary lens from leading teams and designing systems that work for successfully delivering services to clients. While we're on a break is a great time to catch up. A few good starting points. In episodes 7 and 8, we talk about feedback. Episode 7 is how to give feedback so it's useful and able to be accepted, and in some ways, more importantly, episode 8 is how to receive feedback well and model the type of behavior we'd all like to see. Episode 9, we talk about certainty versus confidence, and how to communicate risks and unknowns honestly. In episode 12, we talk about the idea that it's all the work, and why we shouldn't ignore the unfun, unglamorous stuff and accept that status reporting, planning, reflection, and all the stuff that happens around the real work is still the work, because it's all the work. And our most recent episode, episode 14, is about assists and glue people, and how teams really win by elevating others and recognizing the people who make work smoother and easier by bringing people together, elevating others, and doing the little things that help keep it all together. Those 5 episodes capture a lot of our philosophy and will set you up well as a leader and for Season 2. Thanks for listening, for sharing the show with colleagues and teammates, and for giving us the space to practice the kind of leadership we talk about. We'll post those Season 1 highlights and reflections during the break, and then we'll see you in early 2026. Our next episode will be about watermelon projects, and you can expect to see it February 10th, 2026. In the meantime, tell us what you're wrestling with and what you want us to explore next. Email us at leadershipexplored@gmail.com. Take care of yourselves, take the breaks you need, and most of all, keep leading with purpose.